The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Alongside Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey, I'm Michael Watchering, and this is the Eagles Sports Network. Carson-Newman gets set to host its Play for K game Wednesday night against Tusculum. And, Coach, let's first hit on that Play for K situation. It's something that you've educated your team upon in years past. It's obviously a big deal in women's college basketball, but this year's group and what you're doing this year, what are you trying to get accomplished on Wednesday night there?
You know, we want to do our part as being a women's college basketball team. You know, we've done much better over the last couple of years of been able to raise much needed funds to battle this disease and get that to the conference office and our conference in general. The numbers have gone up. I wish we could do more and be able to get up there with the likes of, I think LR won it, last year maybe. But we're going to do our part. We've had some parents that have stepped in and tried to help us to go out and get some donations, and we're going to sell T-shirts and take donations at the door. And I know you're going to put that out there in the release about what all's here, maybe a basket with some Valentine's Day stuff. So it's just really important. And Kay Yao in particular, which is named after, was such a pioneer for women's basketball, and unfortunately she lost her life to breast cancer. So we owe a lot to her, especially, of course, I'm a male in women's basketball, but anybody that before us, especially her, that's been able to give us this opportunity to make college women's basketball is as big of a deal it is now. We got to do anything we can to keep support that cause.
Wednesday night will be a pink out, and when you went to Tusculum, they had a really nice crowd there. You expect to have a nice crowd here. Whenever you get in these rivalry games, we saw it against LMU. A lot of people were here, and it really helped you to have a bunch of people inside of this facility. What kind of atmosphere has that brought to this team this year?
I think when we played, you're right, when we played up at Tusculum, that was a really good atmosphere we got to play in front of. And then when we played LMU here, we've had several good atmospheres. But when you talk about these really close rivalry games, we feel very fortunate that as women's basketball players, we get to play in front of those type crowds. I think we were almost near 1,000 at Tusculum, and of course for LMU we were over 1,000, and for Division II, that's really good. And when you get a lot of people in our small gym with the acoustics the way they are, it feels like you're playing in front of 10,000 people. So we're looking forward to it. Anytime it's a rivalry game, there's a little bit more to it than just what you're trying to get done in conference play. But we'll try to take it as much as a normal game as possible. Obviously, we played pretty well up there. Didn't have our A game, but we played okay up there and came away with a victory. And we'll try to do the same thing when we come here.
You've achieved one of your challenges here at the end of the year. You've achieved a top 4 spot in the league. You've clinched that. Tusculum on the other side, the regional rankings will come out on Wednesday. They're battling for one of those top spots as well. That's probably the conversation we'll have a lot over the next 2 weeks, teams battling for some of those spots. Right. How do you try to maintain your girls' focus, knowing that some of the things that you've achieved has already happened?
Well, I don't think that we're it's kind of nice. I think last year we were in the scenario where we were in the top 4 with so many games left. Didn't have to go all the way down that last game like we had done in years past. This year, with 4 games left, we're already up there, probably in one of the top 2 spots, hopefully. But we know that what Tusculum's fighting for, because we've been in their shoes to where you're sitting there with a pretty good 15-6 record and a 10-5 conference record, and you need to continue to win some games and try to get some big wins to ensure that you maybe get an at-large bid. Going into the SAC tournament, you already know you're kind of in that position to get an at-large bid. But for us, that other stuff is out. We know that in order to try to accomplish, we've talked about this before, accomplish the things that we want to try to accomplish, we got to win every single game we play. And we're going to talk about it even today about slowing things down. Tusculum is a game in of itself, and we need to worry about just that game. Let's not get ahead of ourselves and think about the last game of the year, getting to the conference tournament. We got to deal with Tusculum because they're a good team. Then you got to deal with the next opponent because they're a good team. And we've got a tough 4-game stretch here. And so I know our guys are mentally prepared, physically prepared. We'll be ready to go, and hopefully we bring our A game on Wednesday night.
It is a Tusculum team that's very similar to you in the style that they play. How do you try to combat what they do on a game-to-game basis?
For us, I think we love it. We like to play that way, and of course they like to play that way. It's interesting. We press differently than they press, but the scheme is still the same. You want to try to speed your opponent up. You want to get the tempo right. You want more possessions, more shot attempts. And so it makes for an exciting game, and I think that's kind of what we found up there. It was kind of back and forth. Sometimes the game got a little ragged, but that's okay. That's okay with Coach Carter, and it's okay with me. That's kind of how we want to play, and I think that's how we've in some of the matches we've had with other teams, when we could speed them up, that's when us and Tusculum have been at more successful. But, even you go back to Queens, and Queens was hard. We only got, 56 shot attempts, and they tried to slow the ball down. With Tusculum, you're not going to have to face that. It's going to be quick shots on both ends of the floor. So it should be an exciting game for the players and also for the fans.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck Wednesday.
Thank you, Michael.
He's Carson-Newman women's basketball coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watchering, and this is the Eagle Sports Network.